Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again. We're here for some more lovely broadcasting. I'm Lyrical, going to be joined as well by Eosin. It's the Shanghai Dota 2 Open Season 2, and we're going to be taking a look at a pretty wonderful game here. It's Newbee facing off against Vici Gaming. Both of these squads pretty freaking well known, if I do say so myself. A lot of very high-level players. And Eosin, how you doing? You excited about this game we got here?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, these are, like you said, two teams with really good players. I mean, Newbee coming off of a loss in MDL, but still looking pretty damn strong.
Yeah, I mean, well, they got a loss, but they like got second, right? Like that was still pretty good if I remember correctly. And I felt like they were probably, to me, throughout most of the tournament, they looked like the strongest team. And then maybe like towards the end, EG was able to find themselves and came away with the win, obviously. But I guess a lot of it was off the back of this Axe-Kunkka combo that we saw all over MDL, it felt like.
I mean, Kunkka and Axe are like just so versatile. You can do a lot of different things with them. That Kunkka support is just, it's so hard to deal with right now for a lot of people.
Definitely. Yeah, and Invoker also, we saw some very special performances out of Newbee with it, but they're actually going to be taking it for Vici Gaming this time, and the OD Witch Doctor are going to be the picks for Newbee. What do you think about these openings as far as they're starting out? Like, you said that Kunkka Axe is just so hard to deal with. What about OD? I feel like we see this guy all over the place in pubs.
Yeah, I mean, OD is like one of those heroes right now where everyone just, if it's not banned, it's going to be picked up. Like, people just highly favor him at the moment because of how strong he is in lane. He's like one of the best lane winners, and he's also, not only that, he's such a strong setup. You know, you just astral someone and everyone just stands next to you, and what can you even do at that point?
No, it's definitely tough. And I mean, like you're saying, the lane dominance that he provides, as well as just in general the like later game being able to take out almost any hero in the game if they don't have BKB or something up to prevent that, you know, arcane orb damage to come out. So difficult to deal with indeed. And Witch Doctor, I mean, it's a little bit of an interesting look, right? It's not something that we see all the time, and I guess this maybe might signal as to why they were going for it. The Drow Ranger is going to get taken, so 3 ranged heroes already with the Drow. And I mean, Witch Doctor's a strong laner too. It feels like Newbee just kind of want to get this game over with.
That's kind of surprising that VG is giving them like all these options. I mean, Drow Ranger could have been banned, but you know, they must have something up their sleeve if they're not afraid of it. And not to mention, I think Void might be picked up soon too, because that hero isn't banned, and I think it goes really well with all of Newbee's lineup.
Man, this is, yeah, and they're gonna go back for the Dazzle now as well. And then the IO, so it's not often nowadays that we see like a second phase Drow Ranger and IO picked up. This could be really rough. I think that Kaka, it's probably the hero that he's most well known for, possibly, is his IO. This guy plays it to perfection almost every time we see it.
Yeah, I mean, this guy can play like a lot of different things, let's be real. Earth Spirit too.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that Wisp is a pick here, though, not instead of, like I said, Void. I mean, we might still see it, we might not. Let's see what they, I mean, they definitely have something planned. This is Newbee we're talking about. But, if it's not for Void, I'm not too sure what else they could be picking up. Tidehunter was banned too, which is like a KP special, so we'll see.
Okay. Well, we will indeed see if he manages to go back for something else instead. I mean, there was the old days when he was running the Doom where they would first pick it for him, like, every single game over that the initial start to their 26-game win streak. I don't know if we're really going to see him at all. I feel like Doom's just fallen so far out of the meta. Slardar band, they did focus a good amount of his heroes, didn't they? What about Vici Gaming? What do you think that they need out of their next hero, and might Newbee think about banning?
I mean, there's a Dazzle. Okay. Huskar?
That's a good point.
I don't think it's going to be a Huskar, though. I mean, maybe, I feel like they need something that can follow up on this Axe and Kunkka. Slark, maybe?
Slark could be interesting. That definitely, I mean, he's around everywhere too. I ban him in every single pub that I play. He's so frustrating to go up against. I know that a lot of people at the higher MMR say that Morphline's the guy that's a problem, but he's also not in this game. That's something that maybe Vici could think about.
He's kind of still around, but you know, not as high priority as like for example, OD. OD's kind of moved up in that ranking, so to say. I don't know. I feel like they have a lot of different options here. Their lineup seems like capable of beating a Drow Ranger lineup, but I mean, if I had to say anything, I just think they should have a little bit more in terms of gap closing and stuff like that. Oh, and there's the void.
Yeah, you called it. I mean, it just fits with everything that you've got here. You've got OD, who's going to be able to drop his, right clicks into that Chronosphere Witch Doctor ultimate as well. There's all the danger that Drow Ranger brings as well. But for Vici, the Slark, there's always that weirdness where you're maybe hitting a little bit too late of a timing. Clinks, is this the answer that they need? It's somebody who can kind of get on top of the Drow, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on that last pick, Clinks?
I think it's less of a team fight kind of thing, more of a we're going to try to dismantle you kind of pick. So, like, they're probably not going to try to fight them head on, but they're going to play a very, ganking oriented kind of game, I think.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the first game that we're going to be having for tonight, the Shanghai Dota 2 Open Season 2. It's Vici Gaming facing off against Newbee. We got a whole heck of a lot of other great games that are going to be coming up after this. After this, the winner of this series, I believe, is slated to face off against ehome if the schedule stays according to how it is. And then immediately following that one, we've got another series, which is going to be CDEC versus LGD.Forever Young. So a whole heck of a lot of great Chinese Dota 2. It is going to be rather late here, so I'm not sure if you're going to be staying up the whole time or not, but we'll be certainly watching a lot of great Dota. Man, look at that Clink set. That's wonderful right there.
Let me take a look. This is the one from the compendium, isn't it?
I don't know. I didn't get to do a lot of the compendium. I feel really sad about that.
Unfortunate. I'm pretty sure this is from the compendium.
It's wonderful. So, I guess here's the question that I got. With these Clinks lineups, this little skeleton man, he wants to run around, he wants to find those pickoffs, but isn't Newbee's draft just inherently about grouping up together and not allowing those types of things to happen?
Right. I mean, it's a Drow lineup. You kind of want to steamroll people with your aura, but VG have you have Clinks and you have Invoker. Both of these heroes are, if you itemize for it, pretty good for split pushing, taking buildings really quickly. Like Clinks, he doesn't clear waves very quickly, but once he reaches that tower, it's going to be gone in a couple of moments. So I mean, in terms of split pushing and just trying not to fight, they definitely have the capabilities doing that. And when they do want to fight, it'll be off the back of a Kunkka and an Axe, which is a fair amount to team fight with. So we'll just see how they play out the early game and how they enter the mid game with these two heroes.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see if they can get what they need. Hopefully the lag will not be too severe. I've got pretty good FPS. My ping is actually just ever so slightly higher than my FPS. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but pretty sure that's the worst thing. But hopefully we won't get into too much slideshow Dota as the pause is going to be complete. It's worth noting, everybody, this is being played on a LAN over in Shanghai, as you guys can see by this lovely little... Oh, you ready for the transition? Boom! That's Shanghai right there. And there's all you guys over to the side in Twitch chat as well. But yeah, SDO, the Shanghai Dota 2 Open. The most important thing, though, is that the game is ready to get started. And as far as the early laning stage, is there anything in particular that we need to watch out for? Lanes that you think might be heavily contested, or there's possibility for kills or something?
For the most part, it's hard to say. I think it's definitely possible on both ends. You can definitely, kill someone with Torrent in the mid lane, but it's also, at the same time, it's kind of difficult because as an OD, you can buy yourself a lot of time for people to rotate. So because of that, I feel like it's really hard to tell whether or not people are even going to attempt trying anything in the early game and just focus on, getting their levels together and stuff like that before trying anything.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we'll see if they can possibly make it happen. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful evening full of Dota 2. We talked about it already. The early rotation into the jungle by KP. I believe that was scouted out by this very deep ward that was over here on this side, and so he's not really going to be able to get anything down there, but both teams just content to go about their business, and yeah, it'll be all hunky-dory.
It's pretty interesting. KP just pinged out where he thinks the ward might be after walking through the jungle and not seeing anyone. So I think he already assumes that, you know, the whole TP shenanigans has been done with, and that if he hasn't encountered anyone, it means they definitely like know what's up already.
Huh.
Really, really smart heads up kind of play.
What a guy. This KP, I hear he's pretty good at Dota 2. The Australian sensation. And is going to
go for it. He's going for it.
Oh my god, he does not get it. All right, time walk away. Better luck next time. Man, and they're just going to completely Iron Talon jungle the Yang.
I mean, as much as I don't really dislike it, but on Axe, it's just so insanely fast. Like, there's actually no reason for you to even go into lane, because you just, if you're uncontested, you'll get level 6 in like 4 minutes. And then that's like probably like 2 levels more than what you would get in the offlane. Plus, you're actually farming too.
Oh my god, but the early movement in here, the smoke by Kaka and Faith, they are going to try and make something happen possibly. SCCC goes for the imprisonment, and now with the tether slow, they might be able to do something. FY possibly in some trouble, doesn't get slowed down as of yet, and he throws the torrent, is going to be able to catch, looks for the deny, and finds it. Kunkka, FY, does not lose first blood this day.
What a player. But that, I mean, that's what I was saying, like, you know, when it's an OD, you have so much time to set up for your team. You just astral someone, they have 4 seconds to rotate, and then, like, you know, can't get anything done anymore against an OD. So I'm pretty sure FY is just gonna either keep walking mid and bother him nonstop to help his invoker get a big lead, or he's just gonna go get his own levels elsewhere.
I guess the other thing that we could be saying about this is that it very clearly signals to Newbee, like, all right, Axe was going to go Iron Talon jungle. They rotate in. He realizes he can't do that because they're going to come and try and contest him, and so he heads back to the off lane. It feels like these teams are very much inside their own heads and just realize what the opposing team are going to endeavor to do.
Well, it's more... it's actually less to do with that. I think it's more to do with the fact that, like, he understands that both the supports are like top lane right now, and I mean, now they're rotating. But if they're both can be top lane, you have to come back in the off lane to like limit their movement. So by doing this, supports are back down here. He can just leave the lane soon. And just oh, I think they might go for a kill though.
Well, FY, he's there looking for the torrent, and that was pretty close. I don't know if they find that even then. Yang did just get level 2, so maybe they can find something. But yeah, not going to be able to get it as of yet. Well, early rotations. What is this going to end up being a kill lane down here bottom with Faith and U9?
Oh no, definitely not. He just, like I said, he's just trying to limit the movements of the supports. Okay. So now that he's got the Witch Doctor back down here, he's just going to go back to the jungle because they know where the supports are going to be at, and this makes it so much easier for your mid laner to just have that 1v1 that he really wants, rather than having people come in and bother him and stuff like that.
Okay, fair enough. It's worth noting that the early CS battle definitely favoring Newbee. Switch what you'd, I guess, sort of expect as far as the Drow Ranger aura and helping out with that. But 13-7 versus the 7-4 on the Invoker. How big of a detriment is this to him? As we see Kaka come in and tethering him himself. That's pretty cool.
Now that movement speed, I mean, it's great. Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of expected. It's an OD. OD is already going to more or less win that matchup, right? And then you have a Drow on top of it. So I mean, the fact that Invoker even has like some CS, this is already like better than expected. Ooh. He's gonna have to make his comeback later.
Top lane, first blood, DDC and FY find it. Easy peasy as N gets the last hit on the Clinks, and KP just a little bit too far forward there. But it's worth noting he's gotten his level 3, so it's not the end of the world. Axe is still getting a nice chunk of experience in the jungle, as well as getting some farm, but I think it's going okay for them over there.
Yep. I mean, he did his job. He would have been so much higher level at this point if he didn't have to go back bottom, but it's definitely worth going down there and forcing their supports back into the tri-lane so that they limit their movement.
Well, at this rotation, and as you said, those supports down here bottom, can they think about trying to take down this tier 1 tower of the dire side? Is that something that's pretty easily accomplishable now?
I don't think they have enough damage for it yet. They can definitely put damage on it, but it's kind of hard to actually take it down. Although, unfortunately, Yang isn't ready just yet. He's going to TP down here and just pull the wave, though. Okay. But it's kind of hard to do it like in one go because you can just battle hunger the creep wave and just drag it away, and then they don't get to do much against it.
Okay, yeah, Dazzle comes down as well. He picked up a haste rune in towards the mid lane, and looks like they're just going to apply a little bit of harassment there to U9, not wanting to overextend their balance. It's been a very passive laning stage so far. Not a whole heck of a lot happening, and OD will see that ward expiring and realizes, oh, he knew what was going on up there, and top lane will keep on farming.
It seems like after that small patch, all the Kunkas are just changing the builds now. They don't seem to be doing that a Tidebringer build anymore. They're actually just leveling Torrent, which is something I don't think I've ever seen from that one.
Yang bottom lane dealing a lot of damage. Oh, silences DDC. He didn't have Grave, but just dotting their I's and crossing their T's, making sure that was not going to be a kill.
That 2 level in Maledict really hurt. That did a lot of damage actually.
So do you like the transition then of putting more now in towards the Torrent? I would imagine that like it would have been more points into X, but I guess they're just feeling confident the other way.
It's hard to say. I mean, the damage is definitely like a pretty big thing. I think like having that damage is probably worth it now, because I forgot what the change was, but I think like
it basically made it so that I think level 1 Torrent was like 100 or something, or it was a little bit more than that. They basically just made it so that the damage scales more more than it would previously. DDC taking a lot. Those points in Maledict making it work, and he should die to this possibly. He's got another couple of ticks on it. We'll keep our eyes on him over to the side, but he's still healing.
Unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, right on the edge. The IO illusions take him down, and the battle continues looking for Kaka. He does not miss. Invoker finds the kill. Nicely done.
Interesting to note that they are going Quaswex Invoker.
Huh. What do you think?
I honestly thought it would be Exort because how you have a Kunkka and an Axe. Because when you have those two heroes together, it's like you call someone, you Sunstrike, and it's a lot of damage. But I guess for Quaswex, I think it is definitely in the long run a better like ganking kind of thing, right? Because you just go Swak and buy Orchid. It's like a pretty old Invoker strat, but still one nonetheless.
I guess the other thing about it that I always think about is like how Alacrity figures into stuff as well. It's pretty great with Clinks if you can get that, bonus attack speed that's coming out, since he already has the nice little steroid and damage from Searing Arrows. But it's a little bit different. Holding high ground as well, if Newbee do start to push, they can take team fights more effectively than just finding the pickoffs that the Invoker would want normally with Exort. I don't know.
All right.
Interesting.
If he goes this build though, he can also set up, like he's another character, another hero that can set up not only Axe and Kunkka. He can also move around very quickly and go past vision and then set up for his teammates to gank for him.
Well, as far as that group up and push style that we do normally see out of a Drow Ranger lineup, is there anything in particular that we would be waiting for that to happen? Like a certain level on Drow, or would it be like an early blink on KP or something? Maybe a Vlad's on him instead? What are your thoughts for the time when they would want to go?
I think if you're going to wait for anything, KP...
Oh, taking damage is able to fade that off. Nicely played.
Oh, he timed it perfectly. He dodged the X, the bring back.
Nice. Good stuff.
But like I was saying, if you're going to wait for anything, I think it would be for your supports to hit 6. And I mean, Void's already 6 now. They could probably try something, but if you really wanted to wait for a ideal timing, I think you would wait for your Wisp to hit 6 and your Wish Doctor to hit 6 as well.
Oh man, that was kind of annoying there. I think that in the mid lane they used EMP Tornado there onto SCCC, and he just went for the Astral to deny out all of that mana burn. God, that's really frustrating.
Astral Imprisonment, good spell.
Well, it looks like we might be starting to have that group up and push that we were talking about. We've got level 6 on the Faceless Void. Io is here as Kaka as well, but oh, they might have spotted out End. They are going to back out, throw out the dust, have been able to find him. Now the right click's available. OD is here as well. They're going to start to bring the Clinks very low and are going to be able to get the Astro. I think that's going to be securing the kill. Kaka will live through it. And with that, I think that VG need to back off.
Yep, there you have it. 1 chrono, 1 kill. Group up together, take 1 tower.
That was rather close. All right, well, good stuff for them. As far as Vici Gaming is concerned, what do they need to be accomplishing while these towers are falling? Is it just enough to get your farm on your Invoker and try and make stuff happen there, or what's your thoughts?
I think they need to get their Kunkka level 6, and they need to get Blink on their Axe. So Axe is definitely desperately trying to farm his Blink right now because he is kind of behind because of his start. He wasn't able to jungle like he wanted to, and then you have to go to the bottom lane, and then when you're fighting a tri-lane, you're not going to farm anything. So he's just walking around trying to get his Blink. But I think once Axe gets his Blink, should be around the time when Kunkka gets his 6, and then we'll see sparks flying around everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty emblematic of the problem that you're having right now for Yang, that he's had all game, it feels like, is that it normally when I'm seeing that Axe in the jungle, you're able to go for like an early Vanguard, supports are stacking the Ancients for you the whole time, and then you just accelerate into a crazy fast Blink Dagger, but Newbee are just really not letting them do that at all. It does feel like they've been throwing them off kilter slightly.
Yep, and I mean, OD is doing really, really well. I mean, he picked up his Midas right now, so... Him and the Drow are like super far ahead in terms of farm.
Oh, Relocate Gank is going to come in now. Have been able to catch FY, and I think that he might go down. They went for an X Torrent combo already on KP, so this should be FY dying. I don't think they can find anything else off the back of it. Oh, Haste Rune? Okay, no. I thought I might have gone for it. But it is
We're all up here setting up.
Wrapping back around, SCCC Tornado is just a little bit off the mark, and that signals to him that something was coming, so they are not going to be able to find that kill. That's too bad.
That was really unfortunate for the Invoker. I think he was like trying to time it so that his haste would run out, but just before the haste ran out, I think he was just confident in his ability to hit the Tornado, but then he missed it, unfortunately.
Enda's looking again over here. I really like the play that we saw there from the Drow Ranger. Is up in the top lane, they've again dropped the Chronosphere onto DDC's dome, and he is going to die to that Astral Imprisonment. I feel like Newbee is just pulling them across the map. Like, you look back over here mid while all that action was going up top, and the Drow Ranger was able to pressure the tier 1 tower some more, and then they find a kill back up top when everybody rotates back mid. It just feels like Newbee is kind of just dictating the pace of this game as they have now lost their Witch Doctor.
Yeah, it's kind of funny too, because I was mentioning how this is what Vici was supposed to be doing, and then Newbee are doing it with their lineup. So.
Ooh, FY. They found the Io, but I think he's just dead. Yeah, Kunkka's gone. He didn't spot SCCC there, I'm sure, but End isn't going to be able to make anything of it either. They found him?
They found him.
Oh, no. Oh, this is really, really bad. He's going to take so much damage. Drops the Sanity's Eclipse onto his head, and that is another kill. Man, this is just going great for Newbee. They're doing everything that they want. Silence now into Ghost to get the last kill on the tower as well. Nicely played. Are they?
Yeah, this was supposed to be Vici's like early game to win, and then all of a sudden Newbee is just stomping them. Like this Wisp mobility setting up all over the place. Oh, bottom.
Yeah, Torrent boat combo onto 2. Fate's gonna be dropped. SCCC is as well. There's your Blink Dagger. Now Ghost follows up with another Tornado. The dunk laid down. Dazzle got that kill. Dazzle got a double kill in that. I think Yang wanted those kills.
All right, I spoke too soon. That Blink Dagger, instantly triple kill. Back in it.
I guess, is that enough? Do they need to start taking towers to make up for the early game problems that were there? I mean, Newbee is still up by about 3K net worth and experience so far.
I mean, they're definitely like slightly behind still, obviously, but they should be able to make things happen now with this Blink Dagger and the fact that Kunkka is level 7 now, and he did max the X like you said.
Okay.
So with that, they can definitely set up for their team, and they should have enough damage to kill anyone they catch. So we'll see how they play that out.
Well, and looking to see if he can find somebody off away in the jungle. It is just Faith and Kaka who are heading over this direction. Also have KP in the area. Do they pop a dust magically or something? Doesn't look like it.
Oh, he thought about going for that courier. Oh, if only he stuck around for a little longer.
That would have been huge. Well, they are pinging out this area. They might realize something's going on. There are 3 other heroes of Vici Gaming that are smoked up right on the high ground. If they head over the cliff right here, I feel like Yang is ready for this almost. Well, no, they're not going for it. Yeah, it's going to be just a back out. They're pinging the area. I'm not exactly sure what Newbee was trying to find there.
I think they just they were hoping that they would still be in their jungle because they won that team fight at bottom, and then they expected them to just hang around there. So they smoked in that direction. VG were just anticipating a different route they would take. So both sides just dodge each other.
Dragonlance Drow now is definitely capable of making some stuff happen. Torrent and EMP Tornado are all going to miss. But that does pull the creep wave back. In the same token, tower is almost gone instantly. And Vici don't really have a great way to stop this at this point. I guess just to Axe Blink, but seems rather difficult to find that just going after a solo Drow.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, Tornado EMP is such a huge setup. If they don't have that up, they just shouldn't even try to fight. So they may definitely make the right decision dodging that fight and giving up the tower.
Well, they'll have another chance to hit it now. Ghost is going to be trying to defend the tier 2. KP behind enemy lines. They have a blink and a chronosphere available if they want to go for it. There's the imprisonment. Do we get anybody to come and try and help him out? KP really wants to go for a big chrono, only catches on a Ghost, but I think it might be enough. Now the boat has also been dropped as well, the Shallow Grave, keeping Ghost alive for the moment. I think that he will be able to live through this. He goes back in a second time now. Yang lifts up onto 2. They are going to be able to bring down 1. Looking for new 9. They get the cold snap, and that should be a kill. Follow-up dunked. Nicely played on the other side. SCCC still doing work, but there's the X-Torrent. They bring him down. 4 gone. And just like that, Newbee get crippled in that bottom lane.
Oh, he's TPing. He's going for it.
Get him. Can they find him?
I think KP is done for.
They've got they got cold snap. He can go for a blink up and does still have a TP scroll available if he wants to go for it, but there's the call, and I think that is probably going to be too much for him. 9-11 the score, and man, Vici Gaming struck back hard.
That was such a great team fight from both sides, honestly. Both sides had such like a great team fight plan for that, but Vici just outplayed them. Like, they split them up, and this Axe just one dunk after the other just made it a little easier for them to win that team fight, because they could just win their side of the team fight and just get back and reinforce the other teammates. So that was a really interesting team fight, to say the least.
Well, you talked about the possibility of invoke. Well, he's actually going to go for a 4-step. I was wondering if it was Orchid, but he's going for more of that mobility. Do you kind of agree for this item pickup? How are they going to try and take these team fights from now on for Vici Gaming? Can they be aggressive?
I definitely agree with this. I would agree if he purchased either or, but I think 4-staff is like a really good pickup because it's kind of like you don't underestimate your opponents. Orchid's like really greedy if you know your opponents aren't going to, keep up vision and stuff like that. But 4-staff is the safer option if you assume your teammate or your opponents are going to be ready with the vision, all the detection, just not going to get picked off. So 4-staff is definitely a very, very good pickup here.
Well, last time did not go so well for Newbee, but it looks like they're going to endeavor to take down the top tier 1 tower as a DD rune on SCCC. They can make this happen. It's starting to drop rather rapidly already. KP is down on the bottom side here, farming out the camps, but does also have Chronosphere back up and ready. Vici will come and contest, at least for the moment. Man, an End is going to start hitting so hard on this Clinks too.
One of the bigger problems for VG is like they have to keep up this momentum. Like, they just have to keep winning these team fights and making pickoffs happen, because if you want to fight them in a farming war, like, you're just waiting to lose, because they're not going to farm as fast as a Drow and an OD with a Midas. So they have to keep up this aggression somehow and look for pickoffs.
And OD does have a Hurricane Pike now completed, so that extra bit of range, he has that escape mechanism as well if he can possibly find it. I haven't seen a Hurricane Pike on an Axe mid-call, but I hope that happens, just because it sounds amazing.
Just attack him while running back. Actually, I don't even know how that would work.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I guess that, well, I mean, if you don't get called, I guess the thing I'm thinking is SCCC hitting it before Axe gets his call off. So Axe calls, but he's pushed
dodging
away.
It?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I hope that it is. KP is looking over here to the side, does not run into DDC, and instead is just going to try and finish farming his Vlads. It definitely feels like Newbee have been humbled a little bit after that team fight bottom.
Yeah, they're playing a lot more patiently now. And looks like VG want to go for Rush.
Huh. Okay, well, Torrent dropped down with End coming in. They should be able to find it. Man, that alacrity attack speed. My goodness.
Scan caught them out, though. I think they know. Yeah,
Okay.
they know. They're going to attempt this.
Oh, rotation coming in. They really want to move in there, but it's a scary sight. If they can get in there in time. Oh, Roche is very, very low.
Oh, God, it's so close.
This is going to be a problem. SCCC, they drop in, but now they get the tornado turnaround. He was going to jump in for the Chronosphere. Only catches onto FY. Oh, it's gone really bad for Newbee. If they can somehow salvage this, this would be huge. But the X-Torrent and the boat combo are all going to come on a triple C, and he is going to be able to get out of there. It looks like for the moment, Death Ward from the other side with the cask bounce in. Yeah, they're fine for the moment, but they did lose one.
All right. I mean, that looked bad for Newbee, but they make it work. VG do take Roshan. I think Roshan is definitely more important, but overall, I mean, Newbee got something out of it, so it's not the worst for them.
It's a tough one, definitely. And who was it that ended up? It was the Clinks that got the Aegis. And he's getting really close to that Deso as well. Is this a game where he needs to think about going back for the BKB after the Deso, or can he keep going into more damage items?
Oh, that's actually a tough one. I'm not sure. I feel like he should just go for more damage. If not that, then I think Blink might actually be a pretty good pickup here too. Because if you get chronoed, I mean, your BKB doesn't mean anything anymore.
Right.
So we'll just have to see how he feels about playing it out this game, or how he feels he wants to play that.
I really like this build. He's going back for his Ags now after having already completed an Urn and a Force Staff. So, you know, starting to I'm imagining that now that he's got the 4 points in Quas, you start going more points into Exort, and you'll be able to get the double Forge Spirits and all of the damage that comes. He's going to actually start to really transition to huge teamfight spells.
Yeah, for sure. Once you max, normally for this kind of build, you max out your Wex, and then once you max out your Wex and you have 4 points in Quas, like you said, you just go back into Exort. So. And around that area, that's when you finish your Scepter, you're about level 17, you start, you know, playing the piano.
I love it. Love it, love it. SC, Pure, by where the Tinker Wards would normally spot somebody. I guess that they're thinking about a little bit fresh with these guys. The tower's going to be denied. Links.
Ooh, this dad's dead. Do it.
They're all there though.
Yeah, it's a good play. I mean, I guess he's definitely worried about the rest of the team being there.
Yeah, they are all there, and man, Clinks has a DD rune as well. If he happens to run into these guys, they really want to go onto somebody. Oh, and you can tell.
I think they're gonna try it.
The whole rest of the team is there. This is so scary. One of those moments where if you lose your 2 cores here, maybe they just wrap around and wait for them to push the tier 1 tower. Even that seems very bold.
Oh, that cheeky play. Midas to creep and get out.
All right. Yeah, they're going to head out of there. Goodness. Well, yep, the pressure is going to start to be mounted by Vici Gaming. They summon a couple of Manta-style illusions for the Drow. We'll head off the other direction, and End is ready to start hitting the tower.
This is a tough fight for Newbee, though, because they have an Aegis to throw away, so they can just sacrifice their Clinks for this tower.
Not exactly sure what the timing is on that Aegis, but you can see that. I just love this positioning here. DDC very far off to where he knows the rest of Newbee is not going to be able to get to him unless they go through End first. On the other side, you've got Kunkka, so even if they do manage to wrap around on DDC, they'll have the boat buff for one of them. Great play, and now the Desolator completed. No way to contest that. Nicely played there for Vici.
Oh, they're going to keep going. Yeah, this is the right play for sure, though. They want to make use of their Aegis. Oh,
God. All grouped up like that. It's always so scary.
Obviously, he had no vision. If he had vision, he would have, you know, instantly chronoed all 4 of them, but...
Well, very safe.
Breaks out.
You mentioned you didn't think that Vici was going to be able to outfarm Newbee. Do you think that Newbee are still comfortable with the state of the game, or is it a little bit like they need to make things happen now?
No, I think they're definitely comfortable with this. They can keep farming, I feel. Oh, it's
Oh God! Oh, DDC! How did he know?
That's some back if I've ever seen some.
That's the 9K map hacks. That's what that one is. He is.
I'm gonna casually check the side. Oh, got one. Oh man, that sucks so much.
When you're playing support, did you ever run into those situations in any pro games where there every moment it's like that?
I don't think so.
No.
They always had some way of seeing me. It's never like one of those. I'm just gonna randomly walk through and oh, found you.
Well, a little bit unlucky there. DDC is going to pay the price. Tier 2 tower is still taken down in that top lane. We've got middle and bottom with Tier 2 still intact for Vici Gaming. Although that one down towards bottom did take a bit of a beating when Newbee wiped with 4. As far as next plays, we've got that the Aghanim Scepter on Invoker. Do you think that Vici can like find pickoffs at this point in the game, or do they just try and play for waiting out the next Aegis?
I think they're just waiting for a couple of items before they try to find stuff again. Because they should definitely be, like I said, they should continuously play aggressive because they don't want Newbee to farm. Like, if they're left uncontested, then Newbee is going to outfarm them. But, like, at the same time, there's kind of like this whole mind game going on where they have to be really careful. Like, Newbee, they can't split up too often because of all the pickoff potential and the Clinks walking around and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that is the other thing is like, and I guess it's sort of a question that I have that KP has basically been sitting in the trees now for like 10 minutes, not doing anything, and I guess that farming is always scary, and he wants to like what is he trying to do up here?
He's trying to find pickoffs for his Wisp OD. He's waiting for them to. He's waiting for anyone to make some kind of slip up, so that he can just chrono, relocate, get a kill, get out. Okay. So that's what he's waiting for. But VG are playing it really carefully. They're always together. There's never like one person who's obviously farming alone. If one person shows up on lane, everyone else is showing up, like, or not showing on the map. So it's like a super hard decision for him to make.
Yeah, I guess that, and it's also really scary. You can't like go off into the woods closer to where this observer ward is because Clinks is always gonna potentially be able to pick him off himself.
Right.
Well, a 4-person smoke gank. Wrapping behind, End is here as well. And U9 is left alone over by these Ancients. This could be rough if they do manage to find him. Yang up forward, front and center. Can they go? Kaka is not going to get cold. The tornado whiffs as well. Oh, man, I think that they lose Kaka here, but that could have been so much more.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't realize the smoke break, or broke when he walked past that area. I mean, it's such a hard time. Like, it's so hard to discern which direction it's like, you know, being broken from. So getting even one kill from that is actually pretty good already anyways.
Well, KP is being wrapped around currently by a lot of heroes. Yang blinks the other direction. DDC has found him, but he might be able to get out of here. Drops the chrono onto 2, is going to TP in the middle of it. He almost got brought down there by the Clinks, but wasn't able to find it. Man,
that was such a sick play. I think if he didn't get the dazzle, he might have died because he can medallion and heal bomb for a couple more 100 damage.
Oh yeah, man. And this is taken. I mean, this is, I guess, what always happens when you have these IO drafts, that things just end up looking so different from a normal game of Dota 2 that you would expect. And even though it's a Drow Ranger strategy, it's something that, you know, can scale well into the late game, as you mentioned. You've got that OD, you've got the Faceless Void, and it's just going to look different.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I mean, unfortunately for them, they just can't. Oop, Kaka off the back.
Yeah. It's an easy one.
But yeah, they just can't play their Drow game because they didn't exactly win the early game, like, or not win the early game, but they didn't ramp themselves up into the mid game like they hoped to. Like, it was pretty even by the time it reached, you know, that stage of the game. VG had all their items up and they were ready to fight them if they decided to go for towers, so they just have to play it safe.
Well, and Roche now gonna start to fall. End is becoming terrifying. He's gonna have that BKB that we had talked about a little bit, just a bit here, and God, having all of this damage and basically no way to bring him down. Does Drow Ranger right clicks with all of the heroes on Newbee do enough to kill him off rather rapidly, or is this really gonna be a problem?
there's always going to be damage. It's still pretty difficult because you have an axe trying to, you know, ruin things. You have an invoker who really disrupts the fight because he's quas Wex. You have a boat coming through, which negates a lot of the damage. So it's like, you definitely have the damage. It's just that the toolkit that VG has makes it so much harder for you to, you know, snipe people down and stuff like that.
Okay. And again, KP thinking about going there onto the Clinks, but not having great idea as to where the rest of the lineup of Vici Gaming is. And you can see that there's all these sentry wards that have been placed around this area. This ward is just barely going to stay alive amidst, like, both of these two wards, none of the sentries are going to be able to find him, which really sucks for Newbee. Might even think that they're a little bit safe in that area.
Yeah, I mean, this Clinks has been such a... He's been playing such an important role for VG, because if you kind of watch how he's been farming and stuff like that, Newbee actually rarely, like super rarely, see him on the map. And because he's never on the map, you always have to be careful or mindful of where you move to by yourself. And the moment you split off from your team, like Kaka just died a minute ago. Even though that hasn't happened all game, you always have to be like super scared of that. So that's the kind of contribution this Clinks has made this entire game.
It's definitely been impressive to watch. I was not expecting Vici to play as well as they have been, and really cool to see this type of, you know, conservative, really just well-timed play, and the movement around the map. They're always where they need to be. KP can try and push this out here, but it's not going to be like he can do structural damage. So what's the answer for Newbee then? Is there anything besides wait for them to slip up? It feels like they're always just reacting to what Vici is doing.
Yeah, unfortunately they kind of have to do that too, because they're slowly losing their advantage, or they have been slowly losing their advantage, and now that...
Oh my god, jump forward. They found SCCC. The boat, BKB. Oh my god, that was very close to being a kill, but weren't quite able to find it. And that was the first BKB charge used for SCCC.
Yeah, definitely worth it. I mean, they got rid of a 10-second BKB. And now he doesn't have BKB, so they can just take this tower without too much retaliation from Newbee.
Oh, top lane, KP, X, Torrent, they've got him. I think that this is going to be another kill going their direction. KP can drop Chronosphere if he wants. Actually, goes for it, is going to TP away. He keeps on catching these two-person Chronos. Bottom lane, or mid lane rather, SCCC is going to die though, and dropping very low. ZYF was almost gone. So they hold their mid tier 2 but lose their OSD and also don't have Chronosphere now.
Yep, I mean, that's what happens when you're forced to use your BKB and then not have it for the next team fight.
It is definitely feeling like Vici Gaming have Newbee's number this time around, and every reaction is just perfectly played out. Aether Lens now on this Kunkka does not have a whole lot of damage, but a hell of a lot of control.
Yeah. I think I still prefer Zai's build. Goes Guardian Greaves, a lot more team fight oriented, but having Aether Lens is really nice. Everything's just, you cast everything from a further range.
And no response. They just don't have any way to stop this. Vici Gaming are going to take a tier 3 tower like it ain't nothing. Jump forward. Catch on to U9. He's dropping low. They don't have Relocate to save him because they used it to go up top. There's the Hurricane Pike pushing him away. Yang is not taking any damage from that at all. The Maledict is going to do something, but not nearly enough. And they're still hitting these barracks. Vici Gaming are just doing it. And the boat buff finally starting to wear off. Yang will drop low. But I think that they can't really punish it either.
I'm more impressed with how they kept Drow alive. That Kaka Tether, a mech, Voodoo Restoration, they used everything to keep him alive. That was the more impressive thing for me.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that it was rather close to bringing her down. I thought for sure she was going to go down there. The problem that I'm also seeing now, though, is that Invoker, after going for the Ags, he now has a Sheep Stick at 33 minutes in. This is a Quas Wex Invoker who's somehow managed to still get a ridiculous amount of farm.
I actually kind of like how he transitioned. He didn't go for that last point on Wex. He's just going like, all right, we need damage. Just went excellent.
Yeah. When you start to look at the amount of damage that this Clinks is going to be able to dole out too, with now Chrysalis online, What do you think about Bloodthorn this game for him as opposed to going for a full-on Daedalus?
That's a good point. I'm not too sure. I feel like Bloodthorn actually would be a good choice now that you mention it, because he does see that the Drow did go Butterfly, so by having a Bloodthorn, he can negate that.
Be pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, I guess it can eliminate the need for the MKB as well. Bloodthorn, you can BKB that off though, right?
You can Mansa it off too.
Okay.
So he has to be really, careful with how he uses it.
Definitely. Well, it looks like KP is going to be going for Aghanims, and they are trying to make some type of play. They do use their scan, spot out that somebody is in the area, but that's not going to give them a whole heck of a lot of vision. Ghost might walk up to the high ground. Do they reveal that the smoke has been taken? They drop down one of the observer wards, and doesn't look like they quite have vision of FY over here. But yeah, it's pinged out. Vici Gaming, I think that was Invoker who pinged out. They realized they're in this area.
Yep, very impressive understanding of what's happening. They understand that the other team needs to do something. They realize that there's smoke, and they realize, okay, they're going to take this route. That was really, really good map sense from VG.
Very impressive stuff indeed. Now, Clinks, Deso, Dragonlance, Chrysalis, BKB, doing 300 damage a pop. Oh, U9 gets cold. There's the Blade Mail. Can they save him? They do have the tether. There's the relocate back. Fine for the moment. Astral as well. The Chronosphere catches onto 2, but he's lifted up in the air. They don't have the damage yet for DDC. Bringing him low. He is going to get the Grave off last second. Faith is dropping. There's the dunk. SCCC trying to bring down Yang, but he had already popped his, and BKB does not do as much damage on the other side. The blink behind enemy lines. He's going for Kaka. Nice ice wall. And now U9 dropping low. They have been able to bring down the Clinks. So at least that source of damage is gone. And with FY going down as well and U9, I think they can clean up this OD here. No BKB. 4 gone. And what? Oh, that was sick. Good blink away. Can he TP out?
Well, he has no TP though.
God, he has a Force Staff or Hurricane Pike.
Oh, he found him.
DDC is going to turn, goes to the other side and blinks away. Wait, he blinked back into him? What are you doing there, buddy? That's not where you want to go.
Oh, man. That was... DDC, you know what? DDC is just like returning the favor from top lane. He's like, all right, I'm going to get you back. I'm going to walk into the trees and find you too. And that was some weird play from SC, though. I thought he would blink down. It's really interesting. I guess he figured he wouldn't be able to run away from them, so he was just trying to get what he could. So he was just trying to kill off the Dazzle, but outplayed by DDC.
That was, yeah, it's true. Up towards that top lane, the OD found him earlier. No, he was able to get him. Interesting stuff, man. What a weird coincidence. That I felt like that team fight there for Newbee, it was pretty indicative of how much this Invoker can do in the fights. Axe can just be a bruiser. Ugh, it's rough.
Yeah, I mean, this Axe has a lot of items now, so he's more than capable of standing in the front lines and just, forcing everyone to move around and just cause a total mayhem for the other team. And that's like what you want as VG's lineup. You don't want to you don't want them to like group up, because if they group up, you just right-click people and you die really, really fast with a Drow arm. But because they have to split up, then Clinks can do his own thing, Invoker can do his own thing. It's really difficult for Newbee at this point.
They might be thinking about this. They throw out the tornado. Oh, what is that? How did he have a ward up there? They jump down. They catch the Hex onto U9, starting to do damage over there towards Kaka, but they throw the Chronosphere onto Ed on the other side of the fight. SCCC starting to bring down Yang. BKB has been popped, but he's not taking as much damage from that side. It looks like he is going to be able to walk away for the moment, and I think that Yang will be fine here. The age is gone. Nobody has died in this fight yet. Really weird.
Yeah, I mean, BG is perfectly fine with this. Newbee casted all of their stuff. They still came out on top with the Aegis and the Cheese. They just heal up, regroup, and then they could just make another play happen, because they know that there's not going to be a Chrono. There's not going to be, Witch Doctor ulti. I mean, Witch Doctor ulti probably going to be, but there's no Chrono. That's the most important thing.
Well, playing it safe. I thought that was a Drow Ranger Ags, but it was just a couple of Manta-style illusions throwing out all those arrows. Again, all of these fights just feel very foreign to me. It's not been the sort of clean, big engagements that I think we're more used to seeing, or even just the scrappy pickoffs. It's like sort of two fights happening in tandem around each other. And I guess that's, I mean, it sort of is indicative of why Vici are winning these fights. Clinks can just focus on anybody and destroy them.
Yeah, and I think like after seeing how this game has been played and how it's transitioned to the mid to late game, I can understand this Wisp pick now, because I think they understood that VG is trying to make these pickoffs happen, and by having a Wisp there, you can save people from the X combo, the Axe call that relocates is going to be there to save those things. That's why they have this
I mean, just look, it's so easy for Vici to do this. And what's the play here? I mean, you've got the Dazzle and the Kunkka right behind them, perfectly positioned. It feels like, I don't know, what do you do at this point if you're Newbee?
You just have to be patient and wait for your moment. It's really hard, but you just have to wait for your moment.
Now there's the jump forward call, doesn't connect onto SCCC, and the Torrent will though, and now, KP, he got caught in the middle of it. He just ends up dropping, Fate throwing out the Ghost Scepter, and it went for his ultimate, but it's not nearly enough damage, and Tornado will lift him up, drop him low. Sunstrike is gonna finish him off. He drops and is never stopping. He is a big bad Clinks, and well, the Tornado Gust, it is going to be a relocate away as Triple C drops the hammer. Isn't going to be able to find a kill from it though, and now the Cold Snap, they bring him inside his own Astral. Yang is starting to drop low, but the Torrent and EMP combo is not going to be enough, and Silence, can they find it? No, the counter initiation. Yang is there, eats the cheese. Another Astral saving the Drow, so they're playing it pretty well right now, but it just feels like Vici Gaming have so much more at their fingertips, and Ghost throws out the Deafening Blast. There's one dunk. Can they get a second? Yang wants it so bad. He isn't having Visa issues this time around, as it looks like 3 are gone, and Vici Gaming just dominating Newbee right now. Oh my god, the trading hits.
1v1 fight.
he catches on the chrono. Wait, it's not chronoed. Alright, he goes down. The boat is going to drop onto KP as well as the meatball. He's actually dropping really low. Almost dies there. Yang is going to fall, so a double kill for U9. Maybe going to be able to kill off FY. It's a possibility. Sunstrike, not going to be enough damage. I think FY is gonzo now, but the rest of his team should escape.
Well, unfortunately for Newbee, that is not going to be enough to make this game any easier for them.
This is...
I think VG, I mean, they were probably just being a little lax because they thought, like, oh man, Newbee's gotta call GG after that. But Newbee keeps on fighting, doesn't give up, gets 3 in return. But I feel like this is gonna be near the end once everyone revives.
Yeah, it's, I mean, is there, like, would Drow buying out for an Ags help at all? Like, what do they need in these fights? Is it a hero they have to control, or what do you think?
I think he actually might need a BKB. He needs to, because he has to be absolutely sure. Okay, so he does buy the BKB, but he has to be absolutely sure he doesn't get cheap. He doesn't get Deafening Blast. He doesn't get Boated. He doesn't get Bloodthorn. Like, there's so many things you have to look out for. So BKB is definitely the choice there.
Okay, but as far as like taking the fights, do they need to like focus down, go behind and catch the Kunkka first, or like is it a problem where you can't focus the Clinks? I don't know.
I think if they want to win these team fights, they have to kill the supports first, because if you don't kill the supports off, I don't think there's really any realistic scenario where you're going to kill off another core when there's a Kunkka ready and a Dazzle ready, because even without the Kunkka, a Dazzle alone is going to make it impossible for you to kill anyone. So they have to pick a fight where they have vision, Void jumps in and chronos both of supports, or at least the Dazzle.
He missed his meatball, but it's not going to matter. Well, maybe it will matter. They get the Astral off. Okay, and now the coconuts are back and forth. The 3% chrono, the coconut value, and now Ghost dropping everything onto their face. Dazzle does save Ghost. He's going to be able to walk away from it. He might actually live from that. Oh, that is so disheartening. They will be able to kill off DDC, I think. Wait a minute. Dazzle has a Yule Scepter. He lifts up the OD, and they're trying to catch him out. Does he really juke this out? Oh, DDC, do it for me. Just keep on running, little guy. I think he might be able to actually get out of here with that. What? Oh my god, DDC just played out of his mind right there.
Oh, and going for the back doors. Is he gonna get it? He's gonna get it. He's gonna kill this guy too.
Oh my god, he doesn't care. He is just gone. And All right, DDC, and it was good plays by Newbee. It was great plays by that Dazzle.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but that's like what I was saying. That's what Newbee needs. They need the Chrono, but at the same time, there wasn't a Dazzle in there, and because of that, the Invoker lives, he lives. They cut their losses. It's not enough for Newbee. They need more. They have to catch up this Dazzle. Otherwise, it is so hard for them to win these team fights.
Yeah. Really has just been the story of the match so far, it feels like, is Vici Gaming doing what they need, and the positioning of them consistently has been great. Behind the Clinks, one on one side, either FY or DDC there, and just doesn't feel like Newbee have any great way to make stuff happen. Is that something that has to do with the heroes that they took as well? Like, is that something that can be solved via the draft, or is it more a play style type of thing?
I think it was. I think the draft is fine. It's just like right after I mentioned, okay, they're getting the start that they need, and then Yang picks up his blink and then triple kill, and then all of a sudden the game is like equalized again. Like, I don't think you really want that to happen, because if VG is able to pick up, you know, their core items and all their setup and initiation tools, it's like it becomes like a much more difficult game for you. So I think the draft is fine. They just can't allow VG to like hit that kind of stride during this kind of game.
Okay. Well, a 5-man spoke by Newbee. We'll see if Vici Gaming are able to sniff it out this time, and it looks like, at least for now, oh, they're moving in concert. They are going to smoke gank themselves. KP has a big chrono. Can he? Oh, he backs out, and he only catches one. Oh, man. Well, it's a good one to catch at the very least with the Dazzle. Can they fight with this?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, Meatball dropped down onto KP's head. Nice Astral, saving his buddy for the moment. He's still going to take a lot of damage from that one. Secondary Tornado comes in, lifts him up again. Yang catches onto SCC, and there's the Deafening Blast going out. Damage is being dealt onto U9. He does force to pop that BKB. Turn back around. Ice Wall has been dropped, and is dropping low. Is going to fall. They find that kill at the very least. Well, looking for more. Relocates away in the midst of a torrent. Also, Fate, they relocated onto FY. He's going to drop to this. Double for SC.
Oh no, Yang has no TP. Get out of there.
Well, and they're not going to be able to go for it. So just like that, Newbee find their way back into it. That
was so unfortunate for VG, because I think they definitely could have fought even without the Dazzle, but they threw all their spells on a Cliffed Void, and they still couldn't kill him. And they had nothing left to fight the rest of the team with, and then just got picked off one by one.
Yeah, that was pretty huge. It definitely felt like one of those moments where you see the Chronosphere only onto the Dazzle, and you expect that Vici should be able to fight around that, like you're saying. Looking forward to the next set of team fights, do you think that Vici want to fight around the Roche Pit, or do they need to get a pick off before they try and go for that again?
No, I think they're fine. I mean, they have 2 sets of racks, so all they have to do is keep the lanes pushed out, and then once the lanes are pushed out, they can safely just go and take Roshan, because you don't want to, as Newbee, you're down to your last 2 racks. You don't want to take any chances when it comes to protecting your last 2 racks against the Clinks, because you never know whether or not the Clinks is going to be there, ready to... Oh, no.
Where are we at?
Pick off.
Oh, and nice. There we go. Thanks for it. I wouldn't have seen that at all. This has like been my caster observer workout today. This is like a very difficult game with the IO and toe.
There's a lot of them.
Well, movement in towards the mid lane. Tier 2 is going to start to fall. Both of these teams just do so much physical damage to these towers.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And call comes for mid.
This is the caster's curse. I was talking up VG so much, and all of a sudden they're losing composure.
Jump forward, bring down FY. DDC also. Oh, he just the Solar Crest evasion saved his life right there. This is probably going to kill him though, as they come out of the grave, and now the relocate back. They're taking the tier 3 tower right now. Buyback status for the Dazzle is non-existent. We also don't have buyback for the Kunkka, going for the tier 4 towers. Vici Gaming, what are you going to do about this? They don't have these heroes for another 30 seconds at the very least. They jump for it. Oh, really good reaction by Ghost there. Is going to be able to keep him back. They catch Yang just barely on the chrono. If they can bring him down, this would be huge. He does have buyback. They are going to be able to get that 1 kill at the very least. Meatball drop down. KP looking for some more. Throws out the time dilation. And is there with them again. And SCC is starting to follow. Is going to go down. Kaka not able to regen through all of that. Faith trying to man up. Can they kill off the throne? They end up winning the game. Newbee. They win the game off the back of it. They kept him busy for long enough. They focused on the Witch Doctor ultimate. Oh, no GGs were said. Yes, they were. There were a couple of them. Eosin, help me. What the heck happened at the end?
Why does this always happen when I cast with you? You know, the first time I casted it with you, this is the same kind of game we witnessed. There was like almost no way they could lose the game, and then all of a sudden, they lose the game. For some reason, I feel like all these teams, they just lose their composure when the game's like within their grasp, it's about to end, and then they just throw it all away. Why? Why do they do this?
How did that happen?